That was the new Veil of Maya CD. It's fucking awesome. Hey, what's up? Yo, so today we'll be reviewing the brand new Veil of Maya album, Eclipse. Oh, and if you're wondering, I have the next part of the top 20 death metal bands up. It's 10 of them now because I've been really late with it. That'll be up in a little bit. So, what can you say about this CD? It is fucking awesome. Probably the best CD they've ever done. Okay, now I'm being a fanboy, but whatever. So, who are Veil of Maya? The best way to put them is a technical deathcore band or a progressive deathcore. Even the degen stuff, you could call them that. But I think progressive deathcore kind of fits the tone with this band. Even mathcore, I think, a little bit, but not too much. And they've been getting some press recently for kind of being like the savior of deathcore, if you could. Which they have some of the stuff off deathcore and death metal in general, with the blast beating and deep down tune, thick heavy riffs and growl vocals. With the deathcore stuff, like the scream vocals. But what separated them from the pack is the use of more technical guitar work that would see in some, maybe like a progressive death metal band, like, I don't know, Obscura, or even kind of like a slower Origin or something like that. So they have a new album coming out called Eclipse, and it is fantastic. Now, their last album before this was called ID, and it wasn't really good. It was okay, but it had too much hype behind it, and there just was a couple too many filler tracks, but still a decent CD. So on this album called Eclipse, the producer this time, instead of the producer who was the guitarist for the Faceless, who produced the first album called Man's Collapse and ID, is Mishia Mansour. And if you don't know him by now, you've probably been living under a rock, but he is the mastermind behind Periphery, called the first Degent band. So what does he bring to the style here? Well, the first thing you'll notice, there are a few changes in the CD from the previous Veil of Maya CDs. The first noticeable one is added melody. Now, Veil of Maya, being a death metal band but progressive at the same time, has always had some melody in their songs, such as "It's Not Safe to Swim Today" and "Unbreakable." But this album has a ton of it, including now spacey kind of keyboards and synths. That's definitely coming from a little bit of a Periphery influence, because that's something you would find in like the first Periphery album. And it's coming in. It's a very nice change. It's actually a very nice welcome. Usually, it's in almost every song, and it really adds. It kind of breaks it up nicely without being suffocatingly heavy on this album. But it never gets in the way at all. It's really a nice welcome, and these are some really nice spacey kind of just zone out for a little bit. Now, let's see what the band's got. As far as guitar work, it is your typical Veil of Maya, very technical, with some of those off-time rhythm signatures that are like Shogama-like. But this time there's a few less breakdowns, which is nice. That's getting away from that kind of deathcore sound or metalcore sound. So there are still breakdowns near, and they're typical Veil of Maya. They're a little bit off-time rhythm with that, and they're catchy. They're pretty memorable too. So what else is on the CD that also is a little bit different? Well, there's a little more growling coming from the singer. I noticed that when I saw them live Saturday with In Flames, Trivium, and King. There's a little more growling. There's still some those high-pitched screams, but they're not there anymore. Lyrically, this is nothing over the top. This is your typical Veil of Maya. Another thing I noticed, which is kind of nice, the bass is a little more audible, like in Vicious Circle. You can hear the bass in certain parts a little more than usual, and even it takes onto the guitar, kind of like what Brain Drill does with their stuff. Not in the same fashion as their sound, but in the same idea. So, definitely some tracks to look at. This is also a short CD too. The version I got is 10 tracks, and it's a little under 30 minutes, about as long as Raining Blood. What else can be said about this CD? If you've liked Veil of Maya's previous CDs, you're going to like this. And if you didn't like the band, give this a try. They're definitely really starting to mature their sound now, and this is a great album to start on. You're going to find, if you don't like the other CDs because they were a little less melody or were too death metalish or deathcore-ish, I should say, You're gonna enjoy this. There's less breakdowns, more use of kind of interesting melodies. The riffs are definitely more technical than any previous stuff they've done. Really shows in like songs like "Winter Is Coming," "Punisher," and "Divided Path." Overall, this is a fantastic album, a classic, like your typical Velemai album, but it's just awesome and bitchin'. So, it's me signing out. Keep it metal, subscribe, and comment.